Have you ever walked into a room and just stopped? You get this incredible jolt, this overwhelming feeling that you have lived this exact moment before. I mean, everything is the same. The conversation, the sounds, even the way the light is hitting the wall. It's one of the weirdest, coolest experiences our minds can cook up. So what is actually going on in your brain when it tells you, hey, you've been here before? Well, let's find out. For that split second, it feels completely real, like 100% undeniable truth. You've been in this spot. You've had this conversation. But then, almost as quickly, you know that's not possible. So what in the world is happening inside your head? You know, it feels like a whisper from another dimension, right? A little secret that your own mind is trying to tell you. But the secret, as it turns out, isn't quite what you might think. So we're going to peel back the layers on this feeling, this glitch that so many of us have felt, to really get to the bottom of what's going on. The term itself, déjà vu, well, it's just French for already seen. And that's exactly what it is, this incredibly powerful sensation that is also super fleeting. We're talking just a few seconds usually. And hey, if you felt it, you are definitely not alone. Not even close. Nearly 70% of people report experiencing it at least once. It's a pretty common quirk of being human. Of course, we've come up with all kinds of wild explanations. You've got the whole glitch in the matrix idea, or maybe it's proof of past lives. But the real neuroscience, honestly, I think it's way more fascinating. It's not supernatural. It's just this tiny, kind of elegant misfire happening right inside your head. Okay, so let's get into the first big scientific theory, and it really all comes down to a tiny split-second timing error inside your brain. Now, to get this, we've got to look at two key parts of your memory, familiarity and recollection. Familiarity is just that gut feeling. Yeah, I know this. But recollection, that's your brain pulling up the specific file and remembering why you know it. Usually, these two work together perfectly. But sometimes they don't. For just a millisecond, they fall out of sync. Your brain accidentally hits the familiarity button before it's even finished processing the moment as a new thing. So your mind gets this signal out of order and thinks, whoa, I've seen this before, even though you are 100% living it for the very first time. And here's another great way to think about it. Imagine information about what you're seeing travels on two different roads to get processed in your brain. Now, what if one road is just a fraction of a second slower than the other? Well, your brain gets the same information twice, back to back. That second signal doesn't feel new, it feels like a memory. It's literally a neurological echo. And get this, who experiences it most often is just as interesting. It's way more common in younger people, especially between the ages of 15 and 25. So why is that? Well, it's because their memory systems are super active. They're still developing. It also tends to happen more when you're tired or stressed out. You know, times when your brain's wiring can get just a little bit fuzzy. And here's the kicker. We have hard evidence for this. Scientists who were studying epilepsy actually found that they could artificially trigger the feeling of déjà vu in patients just by electrically stimulating a specific part of the brain called the temporal lobe. So the big takeaway here is that this feeling is rooted in our memory circuits, not in magic. But a timing glitch isn't the only solid theory out there. What if the feeling isn't a mistake at all? What if it's connected to a real memory, one you just can't quite put your finger on? So what if that feeling of familiarity is legit, but the memory it's trying to connect to is just buried? What if déjà vu is your brain recognizing a pattern from some experience you've long forgotten about? For example, maybe the layout of that cafe you just walked into is kind of similar to a scene from a movie you saw 10 years ago. Or maybe the sound of someone's voice has the same rhythm as a distant relative you barely even remember. Your brain picks up on these little familiar pieces. See, your brain is an absolute master at detecting patterns. It's so good, in fact, that it can recognize a familiar pattern but completely fail to pull up the original memory file. So instead of your brain saying, hey, this kind of reminds me of something, it just short circuits and says, this has happened before. So when you put it all together, it completely reframes the experience. It's not some confusing, scary glitch. It's actually something really remarkable about the way our minds work. It's been called a tiny, beautiful mistake in the system. I love that. It's not a flaw. The next time you feel it, don't get weirded out. Get curious. You're not seeing the future or reliving the past. You are witnessing your own brain do something incredible in real time. At the end of the day, déjà vu is like getting a little peek behind the curtain of your own consciousness. It's actually a sign that your brain's internal fact-checking system is working perfectly. The strange feeling isn't the mistake, it's your awareness that something is slightly off. It's a signal from a healthy mind saying, hang on a second. So, I gotta ask you, when was the last time it happened to you? When did you last get that strange, familiar shiver of a moment you were so sure you'd already lived? If this made you rethink that last weird moment, do us a favor and hit that like button. And for real, we would love to hear your story, so drop it in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into all the mysteries of the human mind. Until next time, or, until the next time all of this feels strangely familiar.